Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. I know losing belly fat can feel like near impossible, especially those last few pounds. But I found 5 super underrated tricks that actually work and help me during my 45-pound weight loss journey. Plus they're backed by science. At the end of the video, I'm gonna share my exact system to make them stick. So if you have ever struggled with excess belly fat, trying to lose weight, or just be healthier, I made this video for you. Sweat the thumbs up. That just means give it a little click. And if you're new to my channel, I'm so happy you're here. I have new videos every week sharing my health and fitness journey to help you with yours. Plus, I do giveaways every week for my subscribers. This is my way to say thank you for being here and supporting me in the channel, and really to thank yourselves for showing up and putting your health first. Real fast, before we get into it, I wanna know roughly how much weight you feel like you need to lose right now in order to be healthier, whether it's 3 pounds or 33 pounds. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're struggling with, and I'm gonna be in there this weekend trying to give you some advice and tips to help you get started. All right, number 1, you are going to love this one. Love, love, love. Truly, this is one that I struggled with for a really, really long time, not because I didn't wanna be doing it, but physically my body just wasn't letting me. And that is getting enough sleep. There are countless research articles and studies done on sleep's impact on weight, especially when it comes to belly fat, that visceral fat, the fat that wraps around the organs that is the most dangerous for our health. And it's just clear, if you are getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night, you are going to have higher risk of obesity, have a larger waist circumference. It is just the science. Not only does the amount of sleep matter, but the quality of your sleep matters. So if you're tossing and turning all night, that will impact as well because you're not actually getting that deep REM sleep. For a really long time, I would be so tired, I'd lay in bed and I couldn't fall asleep. Or some nights I'd fall asleep and then I would wake up in the middle of the night and could not go back to sleep. Like, it has always been a struggle for me, always, always, always. It's honestly why I created Slumber Party, because I needed something that wasn't gonna make me groggy and nasty the next morning and like wake up feeling good, but so I could actually get good quality sleep. So you wanna get at least 7 hours minimum, ideally for women, 8 or 9. And this is where it gets crazy, you guys. Studies have shown that people who get less than 7 hours of sleep have a 41% higher rate of obesity, and people who are sleep deprived consume on average 384 calories in excess every day. So just by getting a little extra sleep, you can be saving yourself hundreds of calories a day, thousands a week, and lots of pounds every single year. And the basics of it are, if you're not getting enough sleep, your stress hormone cortisol levels spike. It tells your body to store energy instead of using it throughout the day, and that's where you get stored fat. So the great thing is, when you are getting enough quality sleep every single night, your hormones are nice and balanced, cortisol levels are where they're supposed to be, hunger hormones are nice and happy, you make better food choices, and by going to bed earlier, you're gonna avoid some of that excess late night snacking, so it's a win-win. Number 2, you might not wanna hear this one. This is one that I just fought against for a long time, and I don't know why, because now I figured out how to make it so easy. But that is meal prepping. And I'm not saying you have to prep every single meal for the week in a bunch of containers, although I just do a video that was the entire week's worth of meals in less than an hour, so it doesn't take that much time. But meal prepping has been a game changer for me personally, and there's just a lot of anecdotal data, like just people sharing their experiences about how much they've been able to save calorically every week, weight loss when they started meal prepping, and there's kind of some basic reasons why. I need you to hear me on this one. Even if you are getting healthy food at takeout, right? You're grabbing the salads or the bowls or whatever, you are still going to, regardless, always end up getting higher calories, higher fat, higher saturated fat, and higher sodium than you would if you made that exact same meal at home. It's just the ingredients being used, fast food, processed food, it's gonna happen. You could literally save yourself hundreds of calories every single day just by making even one meal that you normally get out at home. And that's really where I started. I hated the idea of meal prepping. It felt so overwhelming, so stressful, time consuming, everything I didn't want to be doing. For me, I think lunches were the hardest one because I was at work in the office. It was just easy and not only convenient, but then like socially just wanted to go out with people. So even days I would bring my lunch, I'd end up going out and spending money. I wasn't putting my health first and prioritizing that. And meal prepping helps you do that because you've put in the effort and you want to make sure that you're doing that and putting your health and fitness goals first instead of just like wasting money and getting food that you're not going to feel good about later. Some estimate that you could save yourself 500 calories a day. Obviously, it depends on what you're eating, where you're eating, whatever, but 500 calories a day of excess. Okay, let's add this up. If you have 500 calories, across 7 days of the week. That's 3,500 calories. That is 1 pound of fat that you will be gaining every week you do that. So if you've just been like, well, I don't know where this weight is coming from, maybe it's from some of that takeout. We don't even realize it, especially if we think we're making healthy choices, but it can add up so fast. When you start eating healthier, you start kind of going into a caloric deficit, or you're moving your body more, you usually will lose some of that visceral fat first, and that's what's gonna make your waistline look a lot slimmer. That waistline might start to come in, which is a really great starting point to help you like boost that confidence too. All right, we have a couple more, but I cannot wait to share the last one with you guys because I'm gonna break down the system to make all of these so easy. Number 3, some of you are gonna hate this one, some of you are gonna love it, but either way, it is so easy and it makes a huge difference. So when I was first starting my healthy weight loss journey, I didn't really understand what an 80-20 lifestyle meant. I thought like, okay, does that mean I eat really healthy and like diet hardcore Monday through Friday, and then the weekends 20%-ish I can just like do whatever? No, obviously that wasn't getting me results. I realized that I needed to kind of focus on eating the same foods every day. And when you're first trying to change your healthy eating, it's hard to do. So if you do my meal plans, you know there's a lot of variety, but it's kind of relatively the same ingredients, and that's very intentional. When you're first making those changes, you want to be able to have flexibility and not feel deprived and not feel like super bored. But I've realized when I get the most like consistent with eating basically the same breakfast every meal or every day, the same lunches within a range, I lose the most weight, especially in my belly area, because my digestive system is able to like get those foods and understand what's happening and process them and get them moving out of my body. And I'm making sure that I'm eating healthy foods throughout the entire week. And the great part about that is when it takes a lot of stress out. This kind of goes back to the meal prepping. If you meal prep, it's a lot easier to kind of eat the same things all week long. But it takes the stress out of that, and it also makes it a lot easier to be flexible when the weekends do roll around. I have 2 things that I feel like have made a huge difference with that. One, eating those healthy foods all week long make me less inclined to like go overboard splurging, because I know I've put in all this work, and I also just don't feel good when I have really unhealthy stuff anymore. The second part of that is that you also just don't have that same level of guilt, because you know that you have been eating really well. So it's not that big of a deal. And then you don't overdo it. You can have a little, enjoy it, and not go like cray cray. At the end of the day, if you are trying to lose belly fat, if you're trying to lose weight, getting into this mindset of just eating kind of the same foods every day throughout the week, breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, will really help you make sure that you are staying within that caloric deficit, you're fueling your body consistently, and you're feeling good so you have the energy to work out and you're actually getting results. Number 4, I've talked about this one so much this year because I honestly believe it's had a huge impact on my ability to lean out as much as I have. I also go back to my 45-pound weight loss journey. I'm like, okay, where did I start? Like, what had the biggest impact in helping get me motivated, me consistently exercising? Like, what was it? It was walking, you guys, just walking. And I talked about this in a video recently. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you have to hit 10,000 steps a day, because if you're also doing a like strength training workout, like it's gonna be hard to get all that in depending on your job and everything else. But you've gotta move, you gotta walk. So whether that's pacing, taking your calls as you are working outside, or actually getting in committed walking time, it will have a huge impact on not only your overall well-being and your like cardio health or cardiovascular health, but also on your belly fat and your body. And there's research that talks about this. There's actually one study that showed that people who did 3 days a week of 30 to 60 minutes of aerobic exercise, and this is walking. So just like, not like, getting crazy, but just like going for a nice walk where you get your heart rate slightly up, we're able to decrease visceral fat. So I talked about it a little bit ago. The visceral fat is that fat around your organs that is so dangerous for our health. And the more you decrease that, the more you see your waist circumference coming down. So that is huge. That's just walking. And I feel like that's one of the things you guys have told me all year is like, Katie, after having a baby and like all these things, you look like leaner, you look smaller. All my workouts are the same. My nutrition's the same. So really the biggest difference is I've added more walking into my day, both like pacing, like I was saying, during the workday, but also like family walks in the evening. So go for walks after meals, sneak them when you can. It will make a huge difference. Number 5, I absolutely love because it is not something you have to physically do, but we got to get up in here. For number 5, I want you to focus on finding your roadblocks. You have to figure out what things are making it harder for you to actually reach your goals throughout the day. So really break your day down. Look at it objectively and say, what is causing me to make those unhealthy choices? What is getting in the way of me actually moving my body consistently? What are the things that are stopping me from not getting enough sleep or from not doing the meal prepping I know I can do in 20 minutes? Be objective, see what those things are. Sometimes it's just we're getting in our own way. It's not actual roadblocks, except for right here, right? But as soon as you're aware of them, you can start to actually tackle them and make it harder for them to actually be a problem. It is way easier to avoid over-consuming calories than it is to work them off. If we can figure out what those triggers are, those little roadblocks and things that are causing you to either take action and eat the food you don't want to eat and overdo it, or take inaction almost, which is in a sense action, by avoiding the workouts or the healthy foods that you want to be eating. If you can identify what those are, then it's really easy for us to start to break them down and get them out of the way so they're not a problem anymore. And this was a really hard pill for me to swallow. I had to get like real honest with myself and take like a good look in the mirror. And I need you all to do the same thing, because if you are feeling stuck, it all comes down to this. We all make choices. Our actions every single day are a reflection of who we want to be, who we are. Now, actually being consistent in those is a different thing. And that's where I'm gonna break down really quickly the system I use. I'm gonna give you this printable if you want it. I'll put a link down below to get it, because it's just something I go back to anytime I'm trying to add in a new habit. So maybe you wanna add in meal prepping 1 meal a day. Maybe you wanna add in a 30-minute walk 3 times a week. Use this. It will make a huge difference in helping you reach your goals, reduce overall fat, reduce belly fat, and just feel good finishing this year. All right, so this is my motivation loop. I created this as part of my Making Moves program. I share this with my Goals Gang, which is my subscription group on Instagram. It is an incredible group of women. We do workshops every month. So if you are looking for like extra accountability and motivation, join that group. I'll put a link to my Instagram profile below. You can just see it right in there and you just join over on Instagram. But anyway, motivation loop is a super cool tool. So at the top, you'll have your why. This is like not, oh, because I want to lose 5 pounds, but it's just like a more meaningful reason why you are doing whatever the habit is you're trying to do. Let's just stick with trying to go to bed at 9 p.m. So if you're trying to go to bed at 9 p.m., you want to do that because you want to wake up feeling energized, show up better for yourself, for your family, for your coworkers, your friends, etc., etc. Then below you'll have your habit. So your habit is getting 8 hours of sleep or getting 9 hours of sleep, whatever your goal kind of habit is that you want to do, going to bed at a certain time. Your trigger is going to be something that reminds you to do that. Maybe you set an alarm on your phone. I used to do that when I was trying to get myself in the habit of going to bed earlier. Put an alarm on your phone that's like 30 minutes before you are supposed to get in bed to start that night routine and get into the habit of it. Your action is the specific action that you're gonna do. So if your goal is to get 9 hours of sleep, then the specific action is at 9 p.m. I'm going to go into my room, get into my bed, and turn off the lights. Be very specific, even down to like the minor details. And a reward is important because this is what keeps us going. So maybe a daily reward is just the fact that you log this somewhere, or you use the habit tracker or something else to keep track of you doing that habit. And then maybe at the end of a week of doing it consistently, you have some type of treat for yourself, whether that's self-care moment or a special cup of coffee. But this motivation loop is something that has been such a powerful tool for myself, for hundreds of women that have used it, and I know it will be for you too. So whatever habit you're trying to get into your new routine, whatever you're trying to accomplish with your goals, physically or otherwise, this will be really, really helpful. So hope you guys like it. So real quick recap on the 5 very underrated tricks that actually help me lose belly fat. 1, get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. 2, meal prep at least 1 meal every single day, ideally all of them. 3, eat the same general meals every day so you can live a 80-20 balanced lifestyle. 4, add in more walking, ideally at least 30 minutes a day for 3 days a week. And 5, know your roadblocks. Be aware, understand, and be clear on what has been hindering you up until this point, so that you can get it out of the way to actually start reaching your goals. All right, girls, I hope you loved this video. If you did, sweat the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and comment down below so you can be entered to win my weekly subscriber giveaway. I love you all so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.